Today I am going to give you guys a love-hate relationship with Google and YouTube on a couple different levels. One, on what they're doing with mobile views and advertising here, and then two, what's happening with Google search and the whole Hummingbird update. More information about that and much more is coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Tuesday, which means it's time to look at some of the online video news from last week and talk about the implications it has for us as video creators here on YouTube. And the first thing that maybe you noticed that happened last week is that YouTube updated their mobile app, now giving viewers the ability to select what video quality the viewer wants to use when watching that video on their mobile device. Unfortunately, it's not as intuitive as you might hope to get to that option, but it's still definitely there in iOS devices. So that's the love part of that relationship. The hate part is that it's only available on Wi-Fi, which, like, if you're like me, like, I just burn through as much data as I want. It doesn't really bother me because I have a pretty high plan. So I wouldn't mind watching some of those videos in all their 1080p glory on my mobile device, although that would be kind of pointless. But even like 720p, you know, like I could do that. A lot of really interesting data came out from Google last week in their third quarter earnings report, and one of them is that YouTube has overall sees about 40% of their views on mobile devices now, which is actually a lot if you consider that only 2 years ago, YouTube's mobile viewing was at only 6%. That is a crazy amount of growth in a short amount of time. So that is like the love part of your relationship with YouTube. And the hate part is another report that came out last week that talks about where ads are being displayed on your content, and 97% of ads are being shown on the desktop version of the site. Only 2% of ads are being shown on mobile devices, and 1% is being shown on televisions, which means that if you have like a large audience on mobile, like, you are showing almost no ads, which in theory would then mean that you are getting almost no money from those mobile views. But maybe I can help that hate relationship and make it become more of a love relationship. We're talking about another report that came out that shows that ads on mobile are 3 times more likely to be clicked and followed through to the advertiser's website than ads on desktop. So if money on YouTube is a big thing for you, long story short, 1, there's a lot of views growing on mobile. 2, unfortunately, they're not really getting any ads. But 3, when they do, they are very much more likely to be clicked than those on desktop. So I doubt it's evening out with desktop ads at the moment, but it's still very promising of what the future might look like for ads on mobile devices. Because that same report also reveals that the click-through rate on ads on mobile devices over the past year has grown by 266%. But actually, what I got most excited about from that report is that it reveals that interaction on mobile devices has more than doubled over the past year. So commenting, liking, subscribing, favoriting, sharing, like all that is really on the rise up on mobile devices. And another thing that might make your heart really happy, man, this is such like I feel the emotion in this video. Do you? No, not feeling it? Okay, well, you might like this next article. It's linked up in the description text below, just like everything else is. And that is, it's a chart of every single contributing factor that influences how content is ranked in Google. Now, this isn't specific just to videos. This is for like anything that would show up in a google.com search. And it is like everything and about how much weight they think that each one of those factors carries in the algorithm of how it affects how your content ranks. I'm obviously not going to work through this entire list for you right here, but if this is something that is interesting to you and something that you value for the content that you're making, definitely go check out that link in the description text below. You can dig into it in much more detail and figure out how that data helps you best craft your videos to influence how they rank in search. And speaking of search, Moz.com has a great video on their site that talks a little bit about the implications that the Hummingbird update is going to have on content that focuses more on user intent and less on the actual keywords that they're using to create that search. And because we've already had some great conversations about this topic in the comments of our past videos in the past 2 weeks, I just want to like summarize a lot of the concerns that you guys expressed there in this video by sharing this link with you, because one of the things that they say is a ramification of this new update is that even if you're not really like awesome with doing all your keyword research and just optimizing your tags so like they're perfect for your content, you still have a lot higher chance now of having your content ranked because it's quality and it answers the question that the user might be searching for. So that's really good news if you're like me and you just love making awesome content, but you kind of get bogged down in like all the like administrative things like keyword research and titles and like metadata, all that kind of stuff. You're like, I hate doing that stuff. But it's very necessary, right? Like, why would you put all the time into making a video and not have anyone be able to find it if it answers a question that helps them? So it's important, it's necessary, but now even if you don't do perfect SEO research for your videos, you still now have a higher likelihood of being ranked for different queries. And the implication on the flip side of that is that if you really rely really heavily on a lot of keyword different searches and phrases that lead to your content, well, it might be a little bit more rougher for you going forward to get your content to rank using that same strategy. 2 additional links down there that you should definitely check out. One talks about the science behind creativity, and I am very thankful that creativity, according to this research, isn't something that some people are just born with and some people are just naturally creative. Creativity is something that we all have equally. It's just that some of us are better at massaging our creativity than others. And so this video and the post that goes along with it will give you guys a lot of great ideas for how to really boost the creativity that you have, whether you think that you are a creative person or not. And the second link down there will really give you guys a lot of tips and tricks on realseo.com about how to just like hack YouTube, mostly with browser extensions that you can make YouTube do all sorts of things that it doesn't normally naturally do on its own. So go check that out. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below about how you are specifically crafting your content to be optimized for mobile viewers, how you're making your videos so that they draw those mobile viewers in, and how you just really optimize the entire presentation of your video for that tiny little screen. So comment with that below. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week I do just exactly what you saw. On Tuesdays and on Wednesdays, you give you guys some YouTube tips and ideas and suggestions. And then on Thursdays, we give you guys some YouTube Q&A. We got a really good one coming up for you guys this week. So subscribe to get that so I can help you guys change lives and influence people here on YouTube so that you can create a huge impact by the stuff that you're doing here. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. Subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.